Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending where on this present moment. I'm here, Mr. Robert Castaneda, and shortly we'll be joined by Mr. Jay Tatts. This
Oh
is Eric Castillo
yeah.
here with another beautiful episode of the Infinite Talks podcast. And this is Frequency Squad episode. So we're going to continue where we left off last episode we recorded together. It was pretty awesome. The frequency is awesome. So today we're going to share some more insight into the stuff that we're doing. What's up, people? And go check out the podcast, man. To go check out the TikToks. Go check out everything. We have a lot of cool information that we're sharing of the things that we're experiencing as we speak. We're going through our daily lives through different experiences, and we're just trying to figure things out to become the best version of ourselves. Mr. Rob and Mr. J are in the same journey as far as like self improvement and just being like mindful. Being what's the word you like to use, Mr. Rob? That when you're accountable,
Yeah.
get very accountable,
Accountability. Hmm.
accountability, discipline, and more than anything, just the
Self awareness.
self awareness, man. Just little by little, you don't have to do everything at once, but if you start somewhere, it can lead you in the right direction. So that's what we're doing, man. And we're sharing all these cool stories that are happening to us, happening for us. I know on the daily basis we have like little gems of things that we want to tell somebody, right? Like, oh man, I want to tell somebody. So that's what the frequency squad is all about. We want to share these little tidbits of gems that we go through on a daily basis, the books that we're reading, the thoughts that we cross, because sometimes we're just thinking about things and like, hey man, I have this idea or have this thought, and what do you think about it? So in the frequency squad, we actually have like a little chat where we all share ideas and share books and share passages, and this is kind of like the recorded version of those concepts and those concept kind of conversations that we have. So I just had my lunch, man. Robert's having his lunch too, having his Subway, right, dude, Robert?
No. Yeah.
¿Qué
Yeah.
estás comiendo? ¿Un Subway o qué?
Yeah, un Subway. Well, Subway is an ultimate BLT.
Mm,
Right off the bat, I was gonna ask you a question, brother man.
go
We're
ahead.
talking about frequencies. What do you think, in your opinion, is the biggest misconception or people that don't understand about frequency?
I think the biggest misconception is that it's something that's not taught, bro. And like when you go to school, nobody talks about the mechanics of thought, the mechanics of actually creating, the mechanics of what you ingest,
Mhm.
and the physical mechanics of everything that's existing around us. Like they just give us in high school or in elementary, it's like the ABCs, and we never touch into deep like quantum physics information. Like, and that's probably like when you go to college and if you want to like read a quantum, like really get skillful about that and really
Mhm.
dissect the whole concept of quantum energy and all that stuff. So if you don't have any idea of that, then it's really hard to understand how frequency works, because then you're just like looking at the objects that are around you, looking at the people that are around you, looking at the thoughts that you have inside you, and you don't have any idea of how that's all created. So it's real easy to like, nah, I'm gonna brush it off. I don't understand this. It makes no sense to me. And I'm just gonna stick to what I know. And it's okay. It's perfectly fine. If you don't know and you're not gonna know, then it's okay like to not know. But if somebody's telling you, hey dude, like check this out, like just give it a chance, like try it out, and then you give it a shot, you might figure it out like, holy, these guys actually have a
Yep.
good information about this. They have good feedback. So Mr. J is joining the conversation. What's up, Mr. J Tats in the
¿Qué
building?
rollo?
Hello?
How you guys doing today?
We're
Fine,
doing
bro.
amazing,
How about
brother.
yourself?
Bendecido, hermano, bendecido.
Bendecido como siempre. Mr. J Tats in the building.
What I missed, bro? What I missed?
Nah, just we were just talking about the introduction to the last episode. Kind of like it's the continuation of the thoughts, and this is kind of like the recorded version of the conversations we have on on our chat logs with the what's up, with the
Mhm.
frequency squad chat logs, and just in general, right, when we see each other and stuff, or
Mhm.
virtually, and
We've literally never seen each other, bro.
not all together in one room. I've seen Rob,
Yeah,
but I haven't seen you, and
yeah. And I've
it'll
seen
it'll
Jay.
but he hasn't. But we haven't seen. We haven't seen him
Yeah,
together. So
yeah.
we were talking about that, and then Robert asked me a question, and he's like, "What's the biggest misconception of people really understanding frequency?" Is that the correct question? Did you ask, or
Yes,
yeah?
yes, yes, yes. Hmm.
And I was just giving my rendition of like it's sometimes really hard to really understand a lot of these concepts when you just have superficial knowledge of the basics of understanding life itself. Like sabes que pues this is matter, this is this
Energy.
is energy, this is ideas. But we in high school and college and like only if you go into certain studies, then you'll probably understand it a lot better. Or maybe you have innate knowledge as you grow older because maybe the people around you teach you the stuff, some stuff. But if nobody tells you, it's really hard to conceptualize these ideas of frequency and how it
Energy works.
energy works, right? So I was talking about that. What do you think about that, Jay? Like, why is there a big misconception with the understanding of frequency and when all of that comes with like prayer and like all that stuff that
I think
thoughts?
it's just more of a lack of education on the subject matter when it comes to energy and frequency, because people, certain people, certain entities don't want the mass to be aware of this ancient knowledge because of what people can really be capable of. Like when we harness this power that the universe gives us, and when we are really in tune with ourselves and with everything around us, we are capable of doing excellent or magnificent things. So when I think that when this knowledge is suppressed, because one has to willfully look for it, one has to have the intent to know the knowledge and to understand it, because it's out there, but you have to really dig for it, because it's not like you're gonna go into college and they're gonna tell you a class on like manifesting. You know what I mean? Like you're not gonna go into a university and they're gonna tell you the universal laws. You know what I mean? The 12 universal laws of energy and frequency and matter. Like these are things that, like, unless you're really going into like astrophysics or something like that, then it's not gonna be out there for you to just ask a question and learn, unless you really want to learn the subject.
That's a really good take because I always say that when I tell people like, dude, this is really powerful information. So they don't want us to know this, bro. Like it's really a really it's a really good formula for a lot of power. So if you have power
And
of your own control, your thoughts, your own ideas, the creations that you are creating from like this pure energy, they don't want you to tap into that source, bro, because then they lose power, we gain power, and that's why they suppress
and
it.
I think also a huge problem nowadays is that now that the mass is awakening, right? We're going through a great awakening. We're into the age of Aquarius, which is the age of knowledge, which is the age of transition, which is the age of awakening.
The
And
age of water,
yes, we
waves, and frequency.
are there's a lot of saturation everywhere, bro. Like people just want to use it for views. People just want to use it for their own personal, not not with the intention of actually spreading the knowledge, just with the intention of getting the attention. You know what I mean? I heard um this quote that's going to stick with me forever, and it says that attention is the new currency, right? And it's very, very true, because now people are using attention for their own sake. You know what I mean? But you got to be really mindful of the people that you follow, the information that you listen to, the stuff that you read, because it's not all, one, it's not all true. Two, it's not sourced properly. And three, the intent of behind it is not 100%. What's the word that I'm looking for? Like it's not a positive intent. You get me? Like that, it's not there to help others. It's there to help themselves. You know what
It's
I mean?
not
Like when
purely
we,
there. It's not purely there. Like
yes,
it's
the
not
intention is
shared
not pure.
purely. It's not like I'm just
Exactly.
sharing
That's
it,
the
but
word.
with my ideations behind it so I can,
Exactly.
benefit
And
from
and it's
this.
kind of like and this is a sensitive subject, right? Like, it's kind of like when you join a religion, you know what I mean? And like you go to a certain church and it's very hard to pick a church because at the end of the day, you're getting the opinion of one man towards an entire religion. So it's how he interprets the message behind God's word that could not resonate with me. You know what I mean? It's the same thing with the age of information that we have now, because we're in the age of information, right? So now with all the information that's out there, like it's saturated with a bunch of bullshit, bro. And it's really hard to like decipher the truth from fiction, you know what I mean? Or they could be giving you hints and little pieces and bits of information that doesn't really like makes sense. You know what I mean? But the people are like, oh, he has 1 million followers, 2 million followers. Like he has to be speaking the truth. You know what I mean? And it's not true. There's a lot of fake messiahs out there, bro. There's a lot of false information out there. So you got to be really, really picky as to what source you're getting your information from. You know?
And I think, and pertaining to that people, I think research, they're not gonna actually read. I mean, I'm not all, but I would assume, right? Assumption. I would assume that people didn't take the time. Let's say, for example, like about stocks, you know, man, it's tough. It's a lot of information. But are people like really gonna really take the time to talk about investing, talk about stocks? Are they gonna have the patience? And going back to what you're saying, people are just gonna, let's say for example, they're gonna turn on the news, CNN, that famous guy, Kramer. He always says, "No, sell the stocks right now," and sometimes that guy is usually wrong. For the most part, he's usually wrong. So it's already giving information that is not accurate. But you're gonna say, but he's coming out on TV. He must be right, and you make that move, and well, they'll just use that. Well, I mean, it's a risk. That it's a risk thing. That's how it's like their getaway card. But I mean, it's just people. I would suggest people do your research, uh, especially in politics. It's so easy to get swayed, and I'll be guilty of that. It's so easy to be swayed. Right now, we're in a division of Democrats and Republicans and liberals, and it's there's so much division that it's so hard, like Jay said, to decipher who's actually telling the truth. And that's where we have to actually do our research if you really want to have a say in this. Like, do your research. Have you read the policies? Have you read what's really going on? Have you checked multiple sources, or are you just relying on one source? It's just like using the diversity. You have to don't put all your eggs in one basket. You have to find, if you want to go that through that research, because it's going to take time. And there's let's be honest, like there's so many hours in the day, so it's easy to get swayed. That's what I was trying to say.
100%, bro. I feel like a lot of the people also, and all of us, right? Like Jay said, and you said right now, if you're not paying attention to the right information, and you've been in that same circle of information for years, you probably wouldn't even like this talk right now. You'd probably be like, yeah, they're full of shit. You know
Yep.
what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because you're already conditioned, programmed, and it's really hard to knock that wall off when it's been built for so many years, and it's hard to I guess what happens in those situations, because I feel like everybody wakes up at a certain moment, no matter how hard-headed you might be and how evil you think you are, or how hard badass you think you are. I think at one point you're gonna wake the fuck up, and it might be through some dynamic divine intervention where like you might go through some really perils in life and be like, holy shit, how do I get out of this hole? And then when you start opening up, that safety line, like, hey, I need somebody to help me, and then gets who comes through, right? God comes through, and He pulls you out of that little mind circle of the a little algorithm they created for you, right? Like they create this little algorithm, you're stuck in there, and then they take you out, and you're like, holy shit, I never seen this other side of perception, of actually thinking that there's something out there, that I can actually rely on, and not just the mathematics that have been given to me over the last years in your life, you know,
The program.
the program and the matrix, right? Like all these um unseen walls and unseen chains that we have every day. Like you can either make a stride to get out of that, or you're stuck in the circle of just continuing in that same algorithm. And that's why I mean, every book that we read, we're reading a bunch of books, like all of us together, right? Like you all read your books, I'm reading my books, and I'm like, you read it, but you still read it with a grain of salt. Like it's like, where is this intent? Like you still gotta read it and like with a third eye, bro, and be like, where is this going? Is it really
Yeah.
beneficial for me? Like, or
People
go ahead.
people's personal opinion is always a problem because the intent isn't always there. You don't know what's behind a person's head, or heart.
Hmm.
So that space you have to, that void you have to fill with your own like understanding. Like you have to, like you said, take it like a grain of salt and then Im- imply it somehow into your life and see if it works. Trial by error. At least that's how I do it. Like whenever I hear something or whenever I want to do something like manifestation, like I'll put it into practice, and I'll get, like Robert said, certain or a number of sources, you know what I mean, and really do the work. Like if you really do the work, then that's the only way you're ever going to figure it out, because people's opinions, marketing, programming, all these things are going to keep you from not only waking up but wanting to wake up, bro. Because once you wake up, once you get that little taste of it, and you're like, holy shit, bro, like I've been fucking living in a fucking movie my entire fucking life. Like it's either like, okay, let me go back into the movie, or it's like, okay, I'm never gonna go back into that movie again, you know? And if you decide to take the red pill, not the blue pill, it's, let me tell you, man, it's gonna be like work for the rest of your life. It's not like you're gonna awaken and it's gonna be like a periodic table of like 6 months, and after those 6 months you're done. Like no, like healing and awakening is messy, bro. Not only is it messy, like a lot of people don't want to do it. That's why people would just rather not know. You get me? That why that's
Ignorance.
another reason why the
Mhm.
information is not available like that.
Yeah, 100%, man. Es como dijo PBD, right? PBD was saying that he was an atheist, and
For a long time.
he's like, "Ma, I don't believe in this crap. I don't believe in religion." And then one day he's like, "God, if you're really real, show me that
Yeah.
you're real. Show me that you're real right now." And
Yup.
then he gets a call from his mom like seconds later, like, and he's like, "What?" And he
How can
answers,
you know what I mean? Like how can you like say no to
"No."
that?
And then wait, he answers the phone call, right? He's like, "Nah, but it's just pure coincidence." He's still doubting. He's like, and then the mom's like, "Hey, mijo," or like, not mijo, right? Like, "Hey, PVD, I can sense that you're going through some tough times right now. What? How can I help you?" Or something like that. Something within those, not exactly verbatim like that, but something within those lines. And he's like, "How did you know?" And he just burst into tears because like God just showed you, bro. I'm right here. I'm right here.
But you know what?
Always here. I'm always here.
You know what? You know what's crazy about that story is that I think he said that he was about 5 years not talking to his mother,
Yeah, he hadn't
something
talked to
like
his mom in like 5 years or something like that.
5 years. So that's crazy.
And God is always there, not just when you call on him, bro. Like he's always watching after us. You know what I mean? Like he'll come when you call on him, but even if you don't, you know what I mean? That's why like you can't just call on him when you need him, or you can't just dedicate an hour out of a week, or you can't just, like that's not the way that it works. It's like you're either fully devoted or you're not. You know what I mean? Like you can't half-ass something like that. Faith is not something that you play around with. You can't let it waver. You can't let it like peak and then succumb, and you can't do that, dude. Like you gotta be fully in order for you to reap the benefits. And the benefits are sometimes disguised as trials and tribulations and pain, bro, and lessons. Because most people idealize God as like somebody that's always good, but you got to remember that God is a just entity, bro. Like he's fair, he's just. So if he needs to teach you a lesson and if he needs to take something away from you, he will, if you're going to learn from it. You know what I mean? So sometimes these trials and tribulations come in a painful, painful, painful way, but you weren't going to learn any other way. And he knows it. So that's why your faith can't waver. Your faith can't be like, oh, well, God's not taking care of me right now. No, 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 no. Like God is always going to take care of you. It's just that sometimes he's going to pull on your fucking ears and tug on your fucking ears the way that that's the way that he operates.
I think then it goes hand in hand with accountability. You have to, man, look at yourself in the mirror and say, okay, what's really going on?
Is it
Why is
yeah?
it that and this is happening? Because God can only do so much. You have to put your part. You have to put your part. If you're struggling in the job, why are you struggling in the job? Oh, well, no, but then you have to analyze. Well, you know what? I wake up late. Because when you wake up late, then they get after you. Okay, do you do enough? Are you checking what you have to check in and at your work? Well, but you know what, man, I get bored. You have to evaluate yourself first. Evaluate and then ask, because you just want to ask, but then what is it for God if you're not putting in your part? So it doesn't work that way, man. You just have to be accountable. And once you've cleaned yourself up, now you can ask. And you'll see that it will happen. But other than that, it's not gonna happen when you want, you know.
And that's when we operate off of the flesh, to piggyback off of what you just said, like when we operate off of the flesh and in linear time, like we want it to work in our time, like why isn't this shit working the way that I want it to work? You know what I mean? But it's never like that. Seldomly
It's
is it like that, like very rarely it's like that.
we all have, I feel that we all have that instant gratification for no matter what. Instant gratification will always play a part in anything. And a decision, you want it right now. And if you're working out, you want to have a six pack right now. Like, patience is the key to success. For me before, bro, man, I wanted it like right now. Like, I didn't want to wait. I don't want to. I was so desperate, uh, especially if I was waiting for like a decision to be made. I was like, no, 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 I want to know now. Like, whoa, hold your horses. Have you analyzed the situation? You know, and I ain't gonna lie. Like, there's times that where that instant gratification creeps up, but I've been more self-aware, and that's helped me a lot, man. That's it's like an internal checklist that I do of myself before doing an action. And if I've made an impulse reaction or decision, I analyze after the fact, like, but that after the fact, it takes time. It's not going to be easy. Things have been ingrained in our brain, indoctrination since we were born. So this is not going to be something that you're going to be able to just turn on and turn off. It's going to take time. Just like Jay said, like, once you awaken and you've seen all the things around you that you've been programmed, you're going to be like, man, what the hell's going on? And it's not going to be pretty. You might go a little bit crazy. You start talking to
Questioning
people, trying
everything.
to, tell them, questioning. Yeah, well, you question everything, and once you realize, you start to connect the dots. You're like, oh, okay, I already found the formula, but now you see things happening around you, and you see your families, going that same line of it's gonna sound bad, but being a sheep, and you're like, no, 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 turn this way, don't go that way, don't go that direction. But you're gonna find out that it's gonna be super difficult. They've been programmed. You have to look, you have to be this long to understand what's going on with them. So it's just being patient, just try to, just little nuggets there, little nuggets to your families, so they can see, like, hey, haven't you realized that there's so many commercials of the pharmaceutical ads, stuff like that, simple stuff. And then they're gonna be like, well, you know what, I never really thought about that. But think about it. They're letting you know that you might have this, but then all these side effects that might happen, but you're already thinking about, hey, you know what, I might have that stomach ache. It might be relating to what they're saying on the ad, but that's what they want you to believe. Don't go too far. You see those the lawyer ads when you're driving. If you're in a crash, if you're in whatever, who do you call? You have all these certain ads. They're there for a reason, obviously, to program you,
Marketing.
and marketing, yeah, using it to their advantage. They're the subconscious. They're using it to their advantage to make money off of that, out of your misery, of whatever.
Damn, that was a good one, Robert. That was a
Good
good one,
one.
bro. Yeah.
No,
That's
no.
a good one, bro.
Yeah,
That's amazing. But that's it.
pero es que lo que pasa, Eric, and Jay, is that this is what I've been learning. Like, let's simplify it as much as you can. Simplify it so that you don't bombard them with so much information because they're gonna be like, nah, man, bro, it's too much, man. Like, fuck that. I don't want to know about that. No, just little subtle things that we do routine, right? It's like the Super Bowl, right? Just I would say this to my families, like, imagine how much money we wasted in doing the Super Bowl, especially buying food, beer. This is another example pertaining to the Super Bowl, and I was talking to my grandma about this. I asked her, grandma, what happens, when we watch the Super Bowl? What is it, the one thing that we start doing? And she says, well, pues carne asada, beer, exactly, because that's what you see on football games. What is it that you see? You see chips, you see cokes, you see beers. So whenever a game comes on in your subconscious mind, you're like, hey, we gotta get the food. Hey, what about the chips? Hey, what about the beer? You get what I'm saying? So it's already coming in a package. Consumerization. I don't know if I said that word right. Uh, for them to consume all that, know that you're not making it financially, but you find ways to buy it. Because why? Because we're so programmed. It's have you heard? It's not the same when you're not making a carne asada or having beer. It's not the same when you're watching the game. Why not? No, because I don't know. Because you've been programmed, man. You've been programmed. It's
Bro,
it's 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 a package. Without the package, it doesn't feel the same. But that's psychological.
and this is like, for people that are listening, this isn't like something that was just made. Like, Rome started this with the Colosseum. Like, we're just this is ancient programming, like ancient, like thousands of years old, bro. Like, the games, the Colosseum, the Roman circus, like all it is now is just modern times. It's just what is
Entertainment.
it called? Yeah, it's just like modern, like all it's just happens again and again and again and again. It happens with the Super Bowl, it
Deja,
happens with the World Cup, it happens with every major sporting event. Entertainment is like that, you know, and
Enter, enter,
you're cutting off, Jay.
program,
attainment. Enter, attain the ment. That means enter the mind
yes,
and
program
that
the mind.
program the mind. So, bro, like in related to that story, I was watching a clip from the Super Bowl of a family that was rooting for the 49ers. I think it was somewhere in Cali or whatever. It looked like Cali. And they were all like carne asada vibe and everything. The dude who was like, guess running the show there, like it's a Mexican family, you can tell. The guy loses his shit when the Super Bowl ends, right, and they lose the game. He grabs a chair and he tosses into the screen and it breaks the screen. And all the whole family there, the grandmas, the abuelitas, the tios, y las tías, los niños. And you can see like everybody's like, what the hell, bro? Like this guy, like we lost and this guy's breaking the TV. And then all of a sudden, it looks like a younger lady, like it looks like maybe his daughter joins in and starts smashing the TV with the dad on the floor.
Oh
Like,
yeah, yeah, I saw
and
it.
I was like, dude, this is just a game. You're not even part of the
It's
team, bro. Like, it's that's how much they take from you. Like Robert was saying, like we spend all this kind of money, but then they you become so like part of the association,
immersed.
immersed in the whole experience that you feel the loss like if it was yours. And these guys
Bro,
don't have a clue about you. You know what I mean? Like,
once once
Deja tú,
once
Eric. Deja.
once you give once you give somebody access to your emotions, they control you.
mm-hmm,
Like, if you don't have full control of your emotions, somebody else is going to control you. Somebody else is going to dictate the outcome. And that's a perfect example of what just happened there.
mm-hmm.
That guy was fully invested emotionally into something very superficial that he had no place in. Like, he didn't even have a part of. The people are never even going to understand who this person is or exists other than that video. And he completely lost his shit. Now he's out about $1,000.
Yeah, and then also the respect from his family, like, hey man, we were having a good time. You just
And look
ruined
at
it
the
for everybody.
subconscious programming that he put on his kid, bro.
Yeah,
Now
because
his
Yep.
kid thinks it's okay to do something like that. So all he's gonna do or she's gonna do is repeat it in the future.
yeah, Robert, you were saying something, Rob?
No, no, chinga, I kind of forgot.
Okay.
No, I was gonna say no. Let's not. I mean, for the soccer fans, the love of soccer, and you know you love soccer, Rick. How many people haven't been killed, bro?
No,
Soccer
bro.
games.
It's just sports in general. It's like it's creating a division amongst people, and that's what we're talking about. Like the people with power know that if they let us unite and join forces and join heads, buyers of the mind. Shout outs to that book. If they let us join forces and spread this knowledge and like empower each other, it's not good for us. Not good for them, right? The people in power. So they what they see is like divide and conquer, create teams within teams within teams. Even fan bases don't like each other. Hey, wait, that fan base, I thought chafa está mejor la fan base de nosotros.
Yeah.
That fan
Yep.
base is
Yep.
not that is the bandwagon fan base, and we're the
Yep.
real ones. Like, come on,
No,
bro,
yeah.
you're already
No,
dividing
you're right.
yourself. And at the end of the essence, like you don't see the humanity within everybody, and then that's what they want is they want us to have these animal fucking instincts to kill each other. No, maybe not physically, but just like the whole vibe, like, hey, it's us against us against you, and it's
Yeah.
our team
I,
against you,
I
and then the team has no idea of you having that, following.
that's what's going on with politics right now, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
That is what's go. But I think I've heard this somewhere. We're living in the age of divide and conquer. That's what they want, and that's
Mhm.
I think if I'm not mistaken, Jay, isn't that like the number one way to destroy
An
a
empire
country?
A nation.
Yeah, an
Mhm.
empire.
from
Yeah,
within, bro, from within.
yeah, yeah.
And then that's been
So
that trend has been going on for years now. Like they've been implementing memes, like that book says, right? Like they
yeah,
implement
me
ideas, thoughts, and like Joe
ideology.
Rogan talks about it a lot. It's like, man, when you go into Twitter, you see these Twitter wars, and these people are having these ugly, dumb conversations about different ideas, and that's what they want. They want to make us like be distracted with fighting somebody else's thought pattern, and we're never even thinking for ourselves. Like Jay said, they're controlling your emotions. They're actually controlling your behavior. And if you're controlling your
Yep.
behavior, then they're always gonna know the outcome. Like, oh, they're not gonna surpass that level.
Right
Ahí están
now,
con madre.
I think right now they're exploding more than ever the racism wars. Man, it's sad, bro. It's sad to see that because not everybody's a racist. You know, yes, you will experience some sort of racism. I mean, unfortunately, that's. I mean, it's gonna happen. But right now, to the degree that they're trying to exploit it is just ridiculous, man. And you see what's going on in California with all the destruction there. Like, there's no, it's just chaos. People stealing from the stores.
Crazy,
There's no
bro.
respect for the officers. I mean, not all officers are bad. You can't really it all depends also how you approach the officer. If you have this bravado of no, you can't do anything to me, then you're just asking for it, man. You know just follow orders, man, even though it sucks. But it's just, why would you want to get into trouble? But I mean, that's another conversation, but
Yeah.
it's just
No,
the division.
I was telling Robert going into the what's going on. I was telling him that on Monday of last week, I was watching this video of what's going on in Oakland. And I just for some weird reason, a lot of the my feed on Instagram or TikTok was just all about Oakland. I guess I don't know. I was falling asleep and I was half asleep and I was just tuning in and I was just watching a bunch of videos of what's going on in Oakland. Like they're closing businesses down. I think the last Denny's that was open, they closed it down. Not Danny's. Denny's. Danny's is legit. Aquí está como en
Yeah,
Laredo. Hey, cáganle en Danny's. Shout out to shout out his best fucking pancakes, bro. Go check that out. Pero no me nada que ver con IHOP. Está mejor el Danny's. Vayan con Danny's. Free promo aquí, pareja. Nah.
Free promo.
No, pero allá in Oakland, way, they closed the Denny's out, bro. And then the guy was like, "Man, this is the last Denny's we got." And then he shows like all the restaurants that are closed and then like he puts clips of like the wildness that's going on over there, bro. Like people just stealing, there's tons of crime, no respect for authority. Like the kids, young guys, mid teenagers, men like around 30, early 30s or mid 20s in the big huddle in the downtown district or somewhere, and they're breaking down cars like if it's some kind of riot, bro. No, they're just having fun. They're destroying cars, and I see this guy like con la cara así como si quiere tumbar la puerta, güey. He's like, they're recording. He's like, I'm like, and the guy looks like my age, bro. Like, what is this guy thinking, bro? Like, what is going through his mind? I want to break this car's this
Wait.
The door.
What has he been programmed?
Exactly, right. And then inside at the same car, and this is like a Corvette or something, like a really nice car. The guy inside the car is a younger kid, like a teenager. He's lighting up the seat and he's all into it, like lighting up the seat. It's like, ¿Qué pedo traen estos vatos, güey? Like, what are
Chaos.
they thinking, bro? Like, they're lost.
It's chaos.
That's what they want him to do. Like, they
Yeah.
want him to be in that atmosphere, like no control whatsoever of their mind. Like, they're just going out. They're using the energy in the wrong way. And obviously, they've been programmed to feel and understand to think like that. So, like the authorities, they don't even care. Like, they are where they have to be. You know, like they're
Mhm.
asleep. There's just a cog in the freaking matrix right now. Déjalos
Yeah.
caer.
Yeah. It sucks, bro. I've seen a lot of that vandalism, and like I think California is taking most of it, bro. Most of that fucking hit. Like I for some reason, um, like if to kind of paint a picture in people's head, like um if you've ever seen like slumps, like those commercials at 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning of like donate now or people are gonna die in Ethiopia or whatever the fuck. That's what California looks like right now, bro. Like there's literal slumps. There's cities of tents, bro. Like 100,000 people living in fucking tents outside, bro.
Yeah.
Like if you look back in the country, like 40 years ago, like California was like the place to be, man.
Dude, that's exactly
Yep.
what I did, Jay. I went into Google and I looked at pictures from Oakland in the 1950s and 1960s, and it was like a totally different city. So imagine what 60 to 23, that's what, like I don't even know. I lost my math there, bro. Like 60 years,
Yeah,
like
like
60
50,
years,
60 years, bro.
60 years, bro. And in 60 years, the society there has totally shifted. It's a totally, I mean, I wish I had somebody from Oakland be like, hey man, no, it's not really like that. That's what they want you to
Yeah.
see. Maybe that's what they want us to see. But
Yeah.
the videos that I saw, dude, there was like different occasions, different times within the last 3 or 4 years, and it's just escalating. Like the way the vibe and there's a lot of crime and a lot of
Well, a lot of it is like you said, like the perception, the media's perception of what they want us to see to feed into that rage. Because once the rage starts and once people start seeing red, like there's no going back from that. Like I was having a conversation with a very special friend of mine, and
Jay,
I
Jay,
was
real
trying to
quickly, Jay, real quickly. We have 1 minute left before this part two. I
jump
want
back
you
in.
to, yeah, let's start that story right now after this little quick break, guys. Tune us in because Jay's gonna tell us a crazy story. I think you need to listen to it. All right. So let me pause real quick and then we'll come back. Come back to the same link and everything.
Cool.